If leveling your RV keeps turning into a 20-minute back and forth routine, you're probably treating it like a precision project when it's really a quick setup step. Leveling matters, but only for a few specific reasons. And once you know what actually depends on it, you can stop chasing perfect and start getting parked faster with less stress on your gear. In this video, I'm going to show you the faster approach. How to pick the right position before you ever touch a block or a jack, the simple order that prevents constant rechecking, and the one thing most people mix up that makes their RV feel shaky even when it looks level. The goal isn't to ignore leveling, it's to do it smarter, get comfortable, and move on. Number 1. What level really changes? Leveling matters, but not for the reason most people think. Your RV doesn't need to be laser flat to be right. What actually cares about level are a few specific things. How an absorption fridge runs, the old school propane/electric style. How water drains in sinks and showers. How doors swing. How your body feels when you sleep, and how much twist you're putting into the frame when you set up. Everything else is comfort and convenience, not a pass/fail test. The big time waster is treating leveling like a precision task instead of a quick setup step. Also, leveling and stabilizing are not the same job. Leveling is done with wheels or leveling jacks to get the RV close to flat. Stabilizing is done with stabilizer jacks, or similar, to reduce bounce and movement. A stabilizer is not a lifting jack, and using it to level is one of the fastest ways to waste time, stress parts, and still end up with a rig that feels shaky. If you separate those two jobs in your head, level first, stabilize second, you immediately get faster and more consistent results. Number 2. Stop chasing perfect and aim for safe enough. A lot of people lose 20 to 40 minutes because they keep adjusting back and forth for a bubble level that's centered perfectly. The better approach is, get close enough for your systems, then lock it in and move on. If you have an absorption refrigerator, it's the main reason to care about level, because it can struggle when parked off level for long periods. If you have a compressor fridge, common in newer rigs, it's generally much less picky about being perfectly level. Either way, the most reliable rule is simple. Follow your refrigerator manual and your RV manual, because manufacturers define their own limits. Practically, if your countertops don't look obviously tilted, doors aren't swinging hard, your shower drains normally, and your fridge is running normally, you're usually in the good zone. The goal is to avoid obvious slant, not to win a bubble level contest. Another thing people miss, side to side matters more than front to back for how the RV feels inside. You notice side tilt when you walk, sit, cook, and sleep. Front to back is usually easier to correct, especially with a tongue jack on a trailer or leveling jacks on a motorhome, so don't spend forever trying to perfect it while you're still rolling around the site. Number 3. Choose the spot like it's part of leveling. The fastest leveling trick is picking a better line to park on. Before you even pull in, do a quick scan. Look for the flattest strip, avoid obvious dips where one wheel will fall into a low spot, and watch for uneven edges where the ground drops off. If your site has a crown, higher in the middle, lower at the edges, you may want your wheels closer to the center line. If it slopes toward one corner, don't fight it with a mountain of blocks. Reposition the rig so the slope is minimized. This is where you do this instead. Spend 1 minute choosing the easiest parking position, rather than spending 20 minutes stacking blocks and rechecking levels. Also think about where you want the door, steps, hookups, and slide outs to land. It's much easier to adjust your parking line than to level perfectly, and then realize your sewer connection is stretched, or your slide is about to land over a stump. When you treat parking position as the first leveling step, you stop doing rework. Number 4. Level side to side fast with the right method. Side to side is usually handled at the wheels, drive-on blocks, a leveling ramp, or a wedge-style leveler. Here's the quick approach that saves time. 1. Check side to side first while you're still hitched, trailers, or before you deploy any jacks, motorhomes. 2. Decide which side is low. 3. Add height under the low side wheels, then recheck. To check level, you don't need fancy gear. A small bubble level on the floor near the center of the RV works, or a phone level app placed on a flat surface like a countertop. Just make sure you're using a truly flat spot and not a curved backsplash or a warped cutting board. If you use a phone app, calibrate it once on a known flat surface at home so you're not chasing a bad reference. For blocks, the big time saver is consistency. Use interlocking blocks or solid pads that stack evenly and build a stable ramp shape instead of a wobbly tower. With a tandem axle trailer, raise both wheels on the low side whenever possible because lifting only one wheel can add weird stress and can feel unstable. With a single axle, it's simpler. Just lift that one wheel. If you use a curved ramp leveler, it's fast because you drive up until you're close to level and then lock it in. The reason this saves time is that you're not guessing how many blocks you need and redriving 3 times. Whatever you use, keep it simple. One system you know well beats a pile of random wood chunks that never stack the same way twice. Number 5. Front to back is the easy part, so do it last. Once side to side is good, front to back is usually quick. On a travel trailer, chock the wheels first, then adjust with the tongue jack. That order matters. If you level front to back before chocking, the trailer can roll slightly as weight shifts, and now you're re-leveling. On a 5th wheel, you'll typically use the landing gear to dial in front to back after the wheels are chocked. On a motorhome with hydraulic or electric leveling jacks, you can usually let the system handle front to back after you've parked in the best position you can. The time waster here is making micro adjustments, then going inside, then coming back out, then adjusting again. Instead, do one solid check in a consistent spot, same countertop corner, same floor area, and make one clean adjustment. Also, don't forget the basics that save you from rework. Set the parking brake on a motorhome. Keep your foot on the brake while shifting into park, and don't deploy jacks until you're sure you're in the final spot. If you're on soft ground, put pads under jacks early so you're not lifting, sinking, and resetting. Number 6. Stabilize for feel, not for height. Once you're level enough, then stabilize. This is where people waste time because they try to use stabilizers to correct level. Stabilizers are for removing the wiggle, walking bounce, bed shake, and the general boat feeling. The right move is to bring stabilizers down to contact, then give them a small amount of pressure. You're not trying to lift the RV, you're trying to take slack out of the suspension movement. If you crank stabilizers hard, you can flex the frame, make doors stick, stress mounting points, and still feel movement because the real issue is wheel and suspension play. If your RV feels bouncy even after stabilizers are set correctly, look at add-ons that address movement at the wheels. Wheel chocks that actually clamp, cross chocks for tandem axles, or stabilizing systems designed for your rig type. Use pads under stabilizers on asphalt or soft soil to prevent sinking and to reduce slipping. Also, stabilize in a smart order. After level is set, bring the rear stabilizers down first, or the ones farthest from your main support points, then the front. This tends to reduce rocking more effectively than random tightening. If you have a motorhome, remember that jacks can stabilize as well as level, but the same rule applies. Don't overlift, and don't try to hang the coach on jacks if your manual warns against it. Number 7. Slide outs. Follow the manual and avoid twisting the box. Slide outs are where good enough matters in a practical way. Many RV manufacturers want the RV reasonably level before extending slides, because severe twist can affect slide alignment, seals, and how smoothly the mechanisms run. That doesn't mean you need perfect level. It means you should avoid obvious off-camber setups where one corner is way higher than the other. The fastest workflow is park, rough check level, fix side to side at the wheels, set front to back, stabilize, then extend slides. If your manufacturer recommends a different order, do what your manual says. The time-saving point is that you only want to extend slides once you're confident you won't move the RV again. If you level, extend slides, then realize you need to reposition or add blocks, you just created extra steps and extra chances for misalignment. Also, pay attention to what the RV is telling you. If a slide sounds strained, moves unevenly, or seals look pinched on one side, don't keep forcing it. Recheck level and stability first. Number 8. Your tools should reduce decisions, not add gadgets. A lot of RV owners buy more and more leveling tools, but still waste time because their process is messy. The best tools are the ones that remove guessing. A simple bubble level mounted where you can see it from outside can save trips in and out. A small digital level is fast if you always place it in the same spot. A consistent set of stackable blocks works because you already know what one block changes on your rig. If you want speed, consider a wedge or ramp style leveler because you can fine-tune without rebuilding stacks. For motorhomes, an auto leveling system can be a real time saver when it's maintained and used correctly. But even then, you still save the most time by choosing a good parking line first. Another underrated tool is labeling and organization. Keep your blocks, chalks, pads, and gloves in one bin that comes out first. If you're hunting through compartments every time you arrive, you're leaking minutes. If you have a specific repeatable kit, setup becomes automatic. Number 9. A fast, repeatable setup flow that doesn't bounce you around. Here's a clean sequence that keeps you from rechecking the same thing 5 times. Pull in and stop where you think you want to be, then do a quick slope check side to side. If side to side is off, fix it at the wheels right away. Drive onto your blocks or ramp, then recheck. Once side to side is acceptable, chalk wheels, trailers and fifth wheels, or set parking brake and park, motorhomes. Then do front to back leveling using the tongue jack, landing gear, or leveling jacks. After you're level enough, deploy stabilizers correctly. Contact, then slight pressure, using pads if needed. Only after that do you handle slide outs and longer setup steps like hookups. This order works because each step locks the previous one. Blocks set wheel height, chalk stop rolling, tongue/jack set pitch, stabilizers remove wobble. Slides come out when the box is settled. To make it even faster, standardize your checks. Use the same reference surface every time. If you switch between checking the floor, the counter, and the shower pan, you'll get different readings because RV interiors aren't perfectly square. Pick one spot and stick to it. Over time, you'll learn exactly what close enough looks like on your rig, and you'll stop overcorrecting. Number 10. When leveling turns into a fight, change the plan instead of grinding. Sometimes the site is just bad. One wheel is in a hole, the pad is twisted, or you'd need a ridiculous stack of blocks to make it work. That's when you save the most time by not forcing it. If you need an unsafe height of blocks, or your wheels feel unstable on a stack, reposition the rig. Move a foot forward or back, change angle slightly, or swap which side goes on blocks. If the ground is soft and your blocks sink, use a wider pad, or move to firmer ground rather than stacking higher. If you can't level without lifting a wheel far off the ground, that's usually a sign you're pushing beyond what the site is meant for, and it can create stability and safety issues. If you're boondocking on uneven terrain, consider traction boards or wider leveling pads designed for that environment, but still keep the same priorities. Side to side at the wheels, front to back with jacks, stabilize lightly. Always chalk before unhooking, and never crawl under a rig that's supported only by jacks or an unstable stack. If doors keep swinging, don't keep tweaking for perfection. Use a door catch or latch adjustment and keep leveling in the safe enough range. If your drains are slow, check for hair and debris first. Then recheck whether you're noticeably off level. If your fridge complains or struggles, that's your real signal to correct level, and the fastest fix is usually reparking slightly, or adding a small amount of height under the low side wheels, rather than doing tiny jack adjustments over and over.